Hi, my name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel. Now, we really love our kale and we pretty much eat it most days all the way through the year, either in smoothies or steamed or stir fries, and even some baby leaf in salads. So trying to get it all year round is quite interesting, because right now the kale is not looking, mature kale is not looking that great. Lots of baby leaf kale coming off the stems. But you know, we know it's not got much life in it left in it, because it's all going to seed. In the polytunnel, kale that was planted a lot later in the season is doing still really well, but it's still only got probably a month or so left in it. And so whilst we've got loads of Calabrese and purple sprouting broccoli, and we've got cauliflowers on the way and all that sort of thing, it's really now that you've got to start thinking about getting your kale seedlings going. And the best way I've got of doing that is to get them under cover. So I'm going to do a quick whiz round and show you what I've just been talking about, and then we'll get on planting. So most of our kale now looks a little bit like this. Basically very little on top and lots of new life just coming on the stems, and all of it just starting to go to seed. Now, kale like this is absolutely gorgeous. These seed heads are really delicious, very much like purple sprouting broccoli, and these little leaves are very tender, but you've not got very long, much life, as I say, probably about a month before these have had. And it's a similar story on the green curly kale. Gorgeous seed heads, tender leaves. Eat them while you can get them, but won't last long. Colettes are often the best thing to eat at this time of year. These are really gorgeous, but these also now are throwing out these seed heads, florets. Again, really gorgeous, absolutely loads of them, but not going to last very long. So right now we've still got some really nice Calabrese. The cauliflowers are growing strong. In the polytunnel, the Carvalho Nero is also throwing up plenty of seed heads, but the leaves are still really nice. And it's the same story with the curly kale. Much nicer plants, because these were planted much later. So these were planted in September, sown in September, planted in October, and yeah, these are the gorgeous plants at this time of year. Much nicer than the ones that are outside. Of course, we've still got lots of cabbage, and some of this is loose leaf, and of course we've got some hearts as well, and we've got some really nice spring cabbages and cauliflowers coming on outside as well. Our next succession of Calabrese is not far away from just showing its first flowers, so a couple of months away from harvest. But this is what this video is really all about. Dazzling blue kale, Carvalho Nero, mini savoys, cauliflower all year rounds, hungry gap kale, sprouts for baby leaves, and most of those are going to go in this bed. And I've just given it a weed. It's covered by this. I've got some chard and some chicory in here, and I'm going to plant my first batch of kales in here, and then as I progressively harvest that stuff over there, as I progressively harvest that, I'll plant some more, and so eventually all of that hoop tunnel will be various different kales, and then all of those various cabbages and some Calabrese and things like that, they're going to go in this bed here, and they're going to go under a bit of fleece. Now, I've prepared this bed by weeding it, trampling it lightly with my feet, and then putting down some composted chicken manure and seaweed, which I buy. I think it's from Quick Crop, and it's really nice. So that gives there's a nice combination of food and minerals in that. And then I'm going to mulch that over with this stuff, which is spent mushroom compost, and I'll get planting. So that bed's all planted. First batch are Carvalho Nero, second a Dazzling Blue, and the third are Hungry Gap Kale. And obviously they're planted quite densely because these will only be harvested until the main crop kale takes over, and then this will be replanted in sometime in summer, early summer probably, with brassicas that will last us through to winter. And eventually all of that charred perpetual spinach that's in the bed at the end there, that will go to seed, and then this will all be planted with brassicas as well. And in fact this cover here, this cover was over that charred and perpetual spinach, which is why it's looking so nice. And we've been harvesting that twice a week all the way through winter, so it's done pretty well. Now of course there's some big gaps in this bed, and there's going to be some big gaps for quite a long time. So I've got some radish here, I'm going to pop that in. So there we go, there's the French breakfast radish. I do like planting them in modules at this time of year because obviously you get such quick germination and they grow on to lovely healthy little plants. And if you were planting them in the soil at this time of year, you know, you'd be waiting probably 10-12 days or something like that for germination. So, you know, really does accelerate things. So in a few weeks time, that's 20 meals there, little radishes snuck in, so that's really good. So I hope you like that video, quick update on getting early kale. And just caution about planting it too early, because if you plant it much earlier than this, then it'll just run to seed. Yeah, you've got to plant it after its normal time to go to seed. And I hope I've got this one right, but we'll see in future videos. So I think that's everything I've got to say, although I think I've got one more thing to say. Oh yeah, of course this cover that's currently on will stay on forever, and probably by May these will be nice big strapping plants, and this cover can come off and get used for something else. So with that, I'll say goodbye and I'll see you soon.